Hey seniors, do you have a chronic or short-term health issue that has stolen your freedom? Do you miss travel, outdoors, family events, or just daily trips to the store? Get your freedom back with the Ecomobi MS-02 battery-powered mobility scooter. It is stylish, functional, easy to operate, and fun. Why risk going to the big box stores only to find out the only electric shopping cart available looks like this? Get your own and ride in style with a smile. Come on, folks, get back out there and enjoy your favorite activities using the Ecomobi line of mobility scooters. Guys, as we approach this scooter, I want you to look first at this nice removable basket. It is weather resistant and you can remove it so easily. It just slides on and off. Kind of cool. Take it with you. Put your doggy in there if you need to. Next thing I want you to do is look at this seat. You've got all kinds of adjustability on this seat. You can even unscrew those knobs and take those arms off. Those arms are adjustable and they go up and down as well. You can swing out of the way before you get on and off. And the seat back even folds down. Of course, I had the arm in too close, but there's the seat back. It's got a little pouch for those mail runs. Get that Social Security check and stick it right in the back and head on home. There's your wire basket, another basket for storage. See the reflectors and LED light on the back, and you get those wheels there so you can maneuver this thing around manually if you need to. And there's that little lock, locks your motor out and in, so you can roll it by hand or you can roll it electronically. Here is your controls, your mirrors, your handles, your levers to go forward and backward, and then we got the keys. We've got a horn, we've got lights on and off, and we've got our speed and battery meter right there. You got your knob there to loosen to raise that control arm up and down, and then you got your LED light and your handle right there at the bottom where you can help lift this thing in and out of cars, in and out of vans, up onto racks, and so on and so forth. Next thing I want you to look at is the battery. The battery is removable right there, or you can charge it on the unit with that little yellow plug and handle right there is where the battery is. And we've got these really cool looking wheels. So that's a walk around on this mobility scooter, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That rear cargo cage, it collapses, or you can remove it altogether. These controls are very easy for seniors to understand and use. They're very, very simple and straightforward. Forward maximum speed is 7 miles an hour. Reverse speed is limited in case you make a mistake like this old geezer did. Careful there, Papa. Looks like you figured it out. The control bar can tilt forward or it can tilt backward, depending on your needs, how long your arms are, how much reach you have, anything like that, just for comfort. I want you to check out the tight turning radius. This certainly helps with maneuverability. Get back out there and enjoy what life has to offer. But before you do, take just a moment and like, share, and subscribe. Hey folks, time to give you the pros and cons of this electric mobility scooter. Now, you've seen a lot of the video so far, and you've seen Mrs. Tammy and I both with smiles on our face. But let me tell you, I know if you need one of these, you're more than likely not going to have a smile on your face. You're going to be hurt, injured, something like that, to where you need a mobility scooter. It might be a chronic condition. It might be a once in a lifetime thing. Mrs. Tammy fell and broke her knee, had to have surgery. She needed mobility. We ended up at Walmart a lot and Costco, places like that, looking for little mobility scooters. And like you saw earlier in the video, we ended up with some we weren't too happy to have, if we could even find one. So if you've got more of a chronic condition or something that's going to last for a while, why not get your own mobility scooter? And that's the thing we're trying to help you make a decision about today. Pros and cons. Let's give you the pros and cons as we see them with this scooter, and we'll walk you through it real quickly. Maybe a little bit like our walk around, but not quite as much. I'm going to try to hit the high points and the low points. First of all, my number one pro is the storage. You get this nice basket on the front and you get this one in the back. This one on the back is removable. You just undo a knob underneath and pull it out and it folds up. This one on the front as well. Very easy to remove, not a big deal. So you got all that storage. I would like to see maybe some storage here, some type of clamp or something, but I'm sure you can get a clamp. Yeah, see how easy Miss Tammy took that off? And you can just set that down right now if you'd like. But I'd like to see a clamp on here or something, and you could probably get one from a bicycle store or something. But like, let's say you have walking poles or a cane or something like that, and it'd be nice to have a little clamp to snug up your cane into instead of trying to stick it in the basket. But you got plenty of carriage space for stuff you need. Second pro I want to point out, mention this in the walk around, but look at this flexibility you have with this seat. The arms fold up, they have knobs. You can loosen the knob and you can widen the arms out a little bit if you're more chubby than Mr. Chubby is. But you also want to show you this. I didn't show you this in the walk around. Big surprise. There's a lever over here. I showed you in the video, but you pull it up. Look at that. What do you think about that? Guys, that's amazing. And it locks in. Has several positions. It will lock in to give you the stability. If you don't want to have the arms up to get on and off of the machine, but the arms help you with stability, this would help you kind of sit down into it. And if you like Mr. Chubby and Miss Tammy, you can go fishing. I'm just kidding, guys. If you wanted to, I guess you could. So there you go. All right, let's talk about the other thing. The controls. The controls on this device are so easy. They are easy peasy. Anyone can drive this, from a young child to an adult. So this isn't just for seniors, as I mentioned in the introduction, but anyone who has a long-term chronic issue needing mobility, this would be great. The other thing is, the cool thing about these controls is we have a speed dial, which you're not really going to find on your Walmart mobility scooters or your Costco, but you can go from turtle to rabbit. At rabbit setting, it goes up to about 7 miles an hour. But the cool thing about this, let's say you're walking or riding beside someone who's walking, like a family member is on a hike and you want to go with them, turn it down to the low side and adjust it to the pace of their speed, because it can get down there. Me and Miss Tammy rode it about right here when we were walking beside each other. But then if you want to just get on down the road, crank it on up. A nice little speed control there is a really cool thing to have. Next thing is this brake lock, and it's over on the other side. But that brake lock, this device has an electromagnetic brake, but that brake lock right there, you put it in one position for the motor to work, you put it in the other position for freewheeling. So if you want to push the unit, to store it, to get it in and out of storage, to push it up a ramp or anything like that, you just flip that lever, and then when you're ready to roll, flip it back with the electronics. You can also use that as a parking brake. If you store this in the bed of a pickup truck or the rear of a cargo van or any type of van, you can use that lever as a lock to keep it from rolling around. Next thing, comfy ride overall. Not just this nice seat, but the overall ride is comfy. It's very comfy, quiet, easy ride, nice hand grips, big mirrors to look behind you and see who you've run over. And it's got comfy little seats, comfy armrest, very stable ride. And that brings me to my other thing, is it is very stable doing turns. It's got a turning radius. I showed Mrs. Tammy going around in a circle, and she was going a pretty good clip. You're not going to tilt and want to flip with this like you would a trike. It's very stable, low to the ground, low ground clearance, and it just gives you enough stability to feel comfortable, where you can make big turns, fast turns, everything like that, if you need to. You don't always have to go fast on something that's electric. Now, next thing I want to mention is the front and rear carrying handles. Those handles on the front, that handle doubles as sort of a bumper for you, so you don't run your plastic molding into something. And in the back, it's part of your motor system, is this handle back here. But those help you to maneuver this around. This machine is about 85 to 95 pounds, and there's times you're going to have to maneuver it without having it hooked up. The thing I really like is back here, you've got, I call them wheelie bars, but it's two longer arms that come out behind your wheel, has two very hard plastic tires or little wheels. So when you need to move this thing by hand, all you have to do is grab the front handle and pull it up onto those wheels, and then you can roll it. And you see I'm rolling it in dirt, but you know, mostly you want to be on a hard surface. So that's a good benefit, is to have those rolling wheels on the back. You got bright lights I showed you earlier. Let me turn this back on, set my brake. Got nice bright lights. I really like the lights. You can adjust that front headlight to any angle you would like. And that's why we're out here kind of in the evening, is to show you how bright the lights are on the mobility scooter. Now, stable in corners, I already mentioned. That's another big plus for us. The overall adjustability, I've shown you the seat. How you got all this adjustability for the seat. It'll turn all the way around. The cool thing is, when it turns all the way around, the basket goes around with it. It's not mounted to the machine, it's mounted to the seat. This basket comes off very easily, adjustable, folds up, gets out of the way, put your basket on front, take your basket off front, but you've got all this adjustability in the control handle, control arm. You can lean it way back if you need it, way forward if you're taller and have longer arms, longer reach. So you've got all this adjustability for the machine. Good thing to have. Next thing is, you can take the battery off to charge it. Very easy to take the battery off, lighten the weight, everything else. Pull this plug, unplug this, and then the battery will unlock and slide out, and then you can charge it either on the machine or off of the machine. And last thing I want to talk about on the pros is the overall width of this machine. The overall width, as long as you don't open these arms up too wide, the overall width of this machine comes in at around 21 inches. What does that mean? That means it will fit through almost every door there is. Even those tiny houses we tour that have the little 24-inch bathroom doors, this would get in there. This would get in there. Smaller than a standard US wheelchair, which a standard one is 25 inches wide, and then they get a little wider as you go for medium and large size. But this is much smaller width-wise, so it's going to fit in those doors. I want to talk about cons. I don't have many cons, and the company does a good job of addressing them, but I want to talk about the fact that with these tires and the ground clearance, the low ground clearance on this, I think that's 80 millimeter ground clearance, and these tires, this one machine is sort of limited to hard surfaces. You really want to be on asphalt, concrete, or hard packed dirt or fine hard packed gravel. Doesn't work well on grass, doesn't work well on bigger, chunkier gravel, so to speak, coarser gravel. That's a drawback. Second drawback is the weight. It does, like I say, depending on how much of these baskets you have on and all this other stuff, ranges in weight from 80 some odd pounds to up to about 97. So lifting, because I mean, we put the mirrors on and we had 2 baskets on, I'd say it was pushing 95, 97 pounds. It's not easy for one person to lift by themselves. It's easy for one person to maneuver around, but it's not easy to lift. So Mrs. Tammy made the suggestion, go to Harbor Freight or online. You can buy one of those. They used to have that Jazzy scooter years ago, and you could get the rack for it that fit into your bumper or your hitch, and there's a little ramp. You could get the same type of system for this, and you could roll this up and down, one person, no problem, and then you wouldn't have to worry about lifting it. But lifting it, if you have to lift it, it's not that easy for one person. Now, the next to last drawback we have is the battery range. The battery range, we did not have ample opportunity to test it. We received the device, we had a lot going on, we weren't able to test it. We probably rode it 6 miles at the most, but the battery range depends on the model you buy, the Ecomobi model that you buy, and the size of the battery. But the one we have is about 15 to 20 miles, but it's not a big drawback, but I would just, it's a similar weight and size to the battery on our e-bikes, and we get 40, 50 miles range out of those. So that's the only, just for whatever reason, that's a feeling I have that I would like to see more range. It doesn't weigh any more than our e-bikes, and you put me on it, it doesn't weigh any more than our e-bikes with me, but we've gotten up to 55 miles out of our e-bikes. And they are heavy e-bikes. With all the gear and everything we put on them, they push 95 pounds. So I would like to see a little bit more range out of the battery, but to be honest with you, the average person that goes to Costco walks 1.5 miles. So if you take a trip to Costco, you're only going to ride this 1.5 miles. You might go back over to Walmart, ride another 1.5 miles, but at that rate, it would take you 10 stops at the store to run the battery down. So that would be all day shopping. So it's plenty of range in the battery for what most people are going to do. And the last drawback I have, the last con, is the torque. It doesn't have a spunky get up and go. It's a smooth, sort of like that. It is more attuned to like a Walmart shopping cart that's electric. So it's very smooth, and that's a good thing for seniors. But for me, I would just like to have it, if I have the speed cranked all the way up, I would like it to affect the torque a little bit. But that speed dial only affects the speed. It doesn't give it a little bit more get up and go. So if there's an event where somebody's coming or something, I need to get out of the way in a hurry, I'd like to be able to turn that thing up real fast and just take off. But that's just me. It may not be a need for you, and it's probably a lot safer the way it is. But I do want to say about the cons. You've heard all the pros, a handful of cons. Ecomobi does a great job of addressing those cons, because I'll tell you what they do. They have multiple models, okay? So they have, if you want one that's more rugged and off-roady and goes on the big gravel, they've got that mode. They've got that model. If you want one that's lighter weight, more portable, guess what? They've got one. If you want a good basic one, overall, this is good for cities and towns and local shopping trips and things like that. And like we showed in our videos, just getting out on the pavement, walking up and down with your wife. If you got a bum knee or something like that, you can get out in nature as long as you got a paved trail, good hard packed trail or an asphalt trail. But the only challenge, and I would like to see this out of Ecomobi, is to have a unit that does all those things in one, that has more tire, a little bit more ground clearance. The ground clearance, of course, is there to make it easy for you to get on and off, but a little bit more ground clearance would allow you to go over like a little uneven sidewalk or accidentally run off a curb and not worry about hurting your machine. A little more ground clearance, a little more tire, a little more torque, and I think if they could combine that into one, single electronic scooter. One single one, instead of all the different models you had to choose from. They could combine it into one single one. I think that would be amazing. But this one, for what it is, has been a great scooter for us. We've enjoyed riding it. We've enjoyed taking it in and out of the van multiple times, taking it different places and riding it. We had some footage problems with our videos, so we didn't get to show you everything, all the places we rode, but I think we showed you enough of enjoyment and how easy it is to operate and how all the features of it. But I hope you guys, if you're interested in this and you have more questions, email us. We'll answer what we can. If not, you can go to Ecomobi store and get some answers. And the thing I want to tell you is, if you're interested in purchasing one, the link will be in the description of the video. And if it's not too long, I may put it right here in the video. But if you're interested in one of these, go to the link that we provide. That way you guys can buy through us and help us a little bit. They did give us this unit in order to exchange for this review, and that's what we've done. And we try to give you a real honest review. We're really happy with this. And guys, the last thing I have to say about this, Mr. Chubby and Mrs. Tammy rating on this. Mrs. Tammy gives it about an 8. I like to give it about 8.5, and Mrs. Tammy says you can't go halves. Can't go halves. Well, I can't go quarters either. So we're going to give this thing a good solid 8. Is what we're giving it. That's the Mr. Chubby and Mrs. Tammy rating for this product. Now, we did not get to test long-term durability, how this plastic's going to hold up all the time, but for what we've done with it now, it does not have an odometer or a hour meter, but I'm telling you, we probably put about 6 miles on it. It's done just great. We're happy with it. We're going to keep this thing around just in case we break another leg or something like that, guys. So that's our plan. We like it. If you guys got any questions that we can answer, daggone it, send us an email. We'll be glad to answer. Thank you, guys, and enjoy the rest of the video. We're out of here, guys. Thanks for watching.